Hi guys, this is Justin from Generic Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Portal 2 Let's Play.
Because I'm a potato. Oh, good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing. So we have that. Since it doesn't look like we're going anywhere, well, we are going somewhere, alarmingly fast actually. But since we're not busy other than that, here's a couple of facts. He's not just a regular moron. He's the product of the greatest minds of a generation, working together with the express purpose of building the dumbest moron who ever lived. And you just put him in charge of the entire facility. Good, that's still working.
I love the slow clap generator.
Hey, just in case this pit isn't actually bottomless, do you think maybe you could unstrap one of those long fall boots of yours and shove me into it? Just remember to land on one foot.
Not a chance, GLaDOS. You're gonna go splat. Mashed potatoes. And blackout? Cool. Ooh, eerie new area. There's GLaDOS being picked up by the bird. Good thing I still have my portal gun. So now we are deep, deep, deep underground. Even farther than Aperture Science already was underground. We have this crazy destroyed area to work our way through. So let's go with no fear. Portable surface. So we can get out. And I know around here, there it is. You can see numbers and chambers all around the place. Here we go. Crazy. And it's still all on fire, too. That's the best part. This fire's probably been going for years. Keep out. Nah. Do not enter. Gonna ignore you. Gonna keep ignoring. Condemned testing area. Ooh, let's go in. Actually, I have to find out how to go in. I kind of forgot. It's back here, and then there's a... There it is. Gotta work our way across the area we're supposed to keep out of. Do not enter. Keep out. I'm gonna keep on working my way in, because I'm not going backwards. If you couldn't already tell, this story, or this game still has a lot more to go. It is much longer than the first Portal, and I love that. The first Portal was way too short. This, on the other hand, pretty much a perfect length. New mechanic here, these levers. And these doors. And, ooh, alarmingly large hatch. Don't open the hatch, Jack! For any of you people who watched Lost. I congratulate you, because that was an amazing show. I hate people who say it wasn't. Anybody who doesn't think Lost was a good show can go die. Hatch override, and got it. Oh my god, what's gonna be behind the huge ass hatch? What is it? It's an alarmingly large hatch. What could it possibly be protecting? Is it a big gaping hole? Nope, it's a chair and a small door. The irony. And now the gate's open, so we can move on. And this is new as well. Classic doors. Nothing fancy here. Oh, new loading screen. I guess I'll show it to you guys. Oh, look. They didn't get rid of the loading hallways. That was one of them. They brought back the poisonous water. It's all over. And now it kind of is acid, really. Just disintegrates your body, it looks like. Do not lean on railing. This is very ominous of a place, especially with the big rock overhang. The spheres sunk into the water. Physics simulation, always nice. We can work our way back there. First, let's look at some of these other doors. Notice, experiment discontinued. Vitrified. The test chambers 1 to 200. 200 test chambers. We only did like 20. Test shafts 1 to 8. This is just one shaft, and that's 200 test chambers. This place is enormous, and if you look up there, you got some geospheres. And we will be getting into those soon enough. But for now, we will walk back here, and we're gonna go through these sliding doors. And we are going to go to the main lobby of Old Aperture.
Gentlemen, to Aperture Science. Astronauts, war heroes, Olympians, you're here because we want the best, and you are it. So, who is ready to make some science?
I
Now, you all ready to one another on the limo ride over, so let me introduce myself. I'm Cave Johnson. I own the place. That eager voice you heard is the lovely Carolyn, my assistant. Rest assured, she has transferred your honorarium to the charitable organization of your choice. Isn't that right, Carolyn?
am. Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
She's the backbone of this facility. Pretty as a postcard, too. Sorry, fellas. She's married to science.
I love that, portaling through the Aperture logo. And yes, Carolyn is married to science, but we'll be getting into who Carolyn is later.
There's 1,000 tests performed every day here in our enrichment spheres. I can't personally oversee every one of them, so these pre-recorded messages will cover any questions you might have and respond to any incidents that may occur in the course of your science adventure. Your test assignment will vary depending on the manner in which you have bent the world to your will. Those of you helping us test the repulsion gel today, just follow the blue line on the floor. Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news.
This is great.
Bad news is we're postponing those tests indefinitely. Good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts.
Fighting an army of mantis men. That's great. So yeah, fighting in an army of mantis men. That sounds fun. This is who's been talking the whole time. This is Cave Johnson. You'll see more and more photos of him as time goes on. Well, not really time, but as you work your way through these levels. Shower curtain salesman of 1943, Cave Johnson. That is kind of how Aperture started. There's a crazy backstory to all of this. I'm not going to get into that. So we are back up here. Let's go up the elevator. As you can see, this is all old technology. That's kind of the point. Almost to the top. Caution, do not fall down the elevator shaft. We will be breaking that rule soon enough. So, let's listen up.
Just a heads up, we're going to have a superconductor turned up full blast and pointed at you for the duration of this next test. I'll be honest, we're throwing science at the wall here to see what sticks. No idea what it'll do. Probably nothing. Best case scenario, you might get some superpowers. Worst case, some tumors, which we'll cut out.
Worst case, some tumors, which we'll cut out. You can listen to almost all of these vitrified test chamber doors, and that is actually an achievement, is to listen to all of these.
If you've cut yourself at all in the course of these tests, you might have noticed that your blood is pure gasoline. That's normal. We've been shooting you with an invisible laser that's supposed to turn blood into gasoline. So all that means is it's working.
Some crazy science.
If you need to go to the bathroom after this next series of tests, please let a test associate know, because in all likelihood, whatever comes out of you is going to be cold. Only temporary, so do not worry. If it persists for a week, though, start worrying and come see us, because that's not supposed to happen.
The side effects of random ass testing. Always great to know. Alright, so here, now that we've examined this, we have to go put an orange portal up there, and a blue portal here. At least this is how I do it. I'm sure there's other ways around. Then we come to the shaft, and we fall, breaking the rule at the beginning, and flying through the air to Pump Station Alpha. This is where we get into repulsion gel, which is bouncy. Antimatter is an allergen. Just FYI. So let's go ahead and turn on the pump. The gate opens. Pumps are running. And now I have to find my way out of here. There we go. That's closed off over here. There we go. Safety first. Together we can make 1956 the lowest unexpected casualty annum ever. So we gotta dangerously walk our way over here.
Science is built on the shoulders of giants. Not here. At Aperture, we do all our science from scratch. No hand-holding.
I'm gonna try and include as many of the Cave Johnson quotes as possible because they're all really funny. Here we go. The testing spheres.
All right, let's get started. This first test involves something the lab boys call repulsion gel. You're not part of the control group, by the way. You get the gel. Last poor son of a gun got blue paint. All joking aside, that did happen. Broke every bone in his legs. Tragic, but informative. Or so I'm told.
It was informative, I'm sure. So here are the tests we're going to be going through in Test Series 9. So let's go. Here's the old portal gun. Remember, this test is unsolvable without an Aperture Science portable quantum tunneling device. There we go. If you have not received one, please find a test associate before participating in any Shaft 09 enrichment activities. Look how big the portal gun was before, and now it's just portable in your hand like Samus has. Technology. Gotta love it. I also love these old, fizzlers. I forgot what the official name is. I call them fizzlers, because that's what the developers call them. Ooh, bouncy. Good old button. Big and square now, though. And also these doors, if you see, are controlled by weights. They are very old-style doors. And yes, you can catch that right off like I just did. Gotta go through these quick.
The lab boys just informed me that I should not have mentioned the control group. They're telling me I ought to stop making these pre-recorded messages. That gave me an idea. Make more pre-recorded messages. I pay the bills here, I can talk about the control group all damn day.
Another great Cave Johnson quote. There are a lot of them in this game.
For this next test, we put nanoparticles in the gel. In layman's terms, that's a billion little gizmos that are going to travel into your bloodstream and pump experimental genes and RNA molecules and so forth into your tumors. Now, maybe you don't have any tumors. Well, don't worry. If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants, we took care of that too.
Radioactive folding chairs in the lobby to give you tumors. Great. Oh, there's the buttons up there. I love how the music is interactive with when you bounce. There we go. And we mechanic, bouncing off walls. This is very cool. They showed some much more interesting test chambers with this in some of the trailers, but they never made it into the game. But they looked more dangerous and more fun, personally. A lot of things they showed in the trailer actually didn't make it into the game, which is surprising to me. But oh well. Valve did a great job with this game, I can't really judge. Big bounce. Let's go.
In case you got covered in that repulsion gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
It doesn't like the human skeleton. Great.
All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping, because that's not part of the test.
That's asbestos.
Good news is the lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face.
I punch those numbers in my calculator and it makes a happy face. I love that. Alright, there it is.
I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me. Bean Counter said I couldn't fire a man just for being in a wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
Love that. Firing a guy in a wheelchair because ramps are expensive. So here's a new mechanic, is paint. This stuff will paint the ground with whatever gel is coming out of it. So now I gotta just make sure to get all this ground painted here so I can hop up. You also can get covered in the repulsion gel, I'll show you. And your screen turns bluish like that. Alright, now you want to send the paint through this way, so that when you jump through with a blue portal, like so, you get cool music, and you bounce all the way across.
Heads up, that coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it, so we can track the neuronal activity in your brain. There's a slight chance the calcium could harden and vitrify your frontal lobe. Anyway, don't stress yourself thinking about it. I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually triggers the reaction.
I think this is a good place to end the episode for now, as we are making good progress, and we're almost 20 minutes into this episode already, surprisingly. So, I will see you guys on the next episode, where we'll be continuing our way through Pump Station Alpha at Old Aperture, and continuing on Chapter 6, The Fall. See you guys then.